3 games down and 3 games to go. Good evening, everybody, and great to have you with us. Welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center for the Class D1 State Championship. I'm 1011 Sports Director Andrew Felios, along with KLIN's John Bishop, the voice of the state tournament.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be back with you. Our second session here on this 94th Championship Saturday. It's been a long month of exciting high school athletics here on Nebraska ETV. Started with wrestling, you go to swimming, girls last week, boys this week. We have had a great day so far. Couple of games that didn't quite go down to the wire, but coming up in the evening session, we've got a lot of intriguing stories, and we have a dominating Class D power who is back here at the state tournament, trying to make it a perfect 7-0 for their head coach in championship games. Should have a lot of fun here in this second session. We're glad you can join us from all across the Cornhusker State, and we'll find out which one of these two teams, Falls City, Sacred Heart, or Shelby, joins Cambridge, Loomis, and Bellevue West as state champions. Let's meet Shelby and Sacred Heart.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Nebraska School Activities Association, welcome to the Bob Devaney Sports Center for the 2004 Nebraska High School Boys State Basketball Tournament. Now for today's Class D1 championship game between the 19-4 Shelby Huskies and the 24-3 Falls City Sacred Heart Irish. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the lineups. First, the non-starters for Shelby. Number 11, Lauren Wambacher. Number 13, Mike Golka. Number 21, Jake Hablitzel. Number 24, Josh Kula. Number 41, Chris Coles. Number 44, John Alt. And number 53, Jeff Augustine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the non-starters for Falls City Sacred Heart. Number 4, Jordan Marks. Number 20, Brian Vagley. Number 32, Jeremiah Haring. Number 40, Brad Ahern. Number 41, Cody Johansson. Number 43, Jake Schwung. And number 51, Cliff Fink. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the starting lineup for the Shelby Huskies. A 6-foot senior, number 2, Joe Hopwood. A 6-foot senior, number 3, John Suha. A 6-foot senior, number 4, Zach Augustine. A 5'10 senior, number 30, Matt Perry. And a 6-foot sophomore, number 42, Jordan Crook. The assistant coach for the Huskies is Gerald Humlachek, and the head coach for Shelby High School is Terry Chaddick. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the starting lineup for the Falls City Sacred Heart Irish. A 6-foot junior, number 5, Logan Kopp. A 6-foot junior, number 15, Jeremy Carney. A 6'2 senior, number 25, Justin Funderschmidt. A 5'11 senior, number 31, Adam Gruber. And a 6'3 senior, number 33, Brian Huppert. The assistant coaches for the Irish are Matt Cumro, Mark Junker, and Mike Huppert. And the head coach for Falls City Sacred Heart High School is Doug Goltz. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for today's Class D1 championship game are Jim Langen and Jeff Wolf. The bench official is Bart Quasset.
Shelby and Falls City Sacred Heart in Class D1 for the state title. Sacred Heart, 6 times a winner here, all under their head coach, Doug Goltz, who is in his 18th year undefeated in championship games. Sacred Heart has had a couple of runner-up years, but it's been a while, 1974 being the last one. And for Shelby, they have been a runner-up once. They have never won a state championship. As you look at the brackets and you see how they got here, Sacred Heart 24-3. They went on a 3-game losing streak at the Lincoln Lutheran Holiday Tournament back before the turn of the year. Granted, that was all against Class C1 and C2 competition. It was after that tournament they came together as a team and vowed that this is not going to happen to us again. They started to focus, bear down a little more in practice, and since then, they have been almost unstoppable. As we are underway, Sacred Heart in white, trimmed in green, Shelby all black with the gold numerals. Feet underneath, and Brian Huppert, who had a big game yesterday against Spencer Naper, knocks down the first two for the Irish.
And that's their game. Carney, Vonderschmidt, and Huppert, the three main guns for Fall City Sacred Heart. They're gonna come out in full force tonight.
Matthew Perry had it for just a moment. They'll go up top to Joe Hopwood. Back around, here's Perry. And Perry knocks down a 2, and we are tied.
Matthew Perry will be calling that name a lot tonight. There's Huppert taking a deep shot.
For 3, a little bit short. Again, like many of the other smaller classes, this is their first experience on the Devaney floor and shooting at the Devaney rims. From the corner, John Zuha off the baseline, and Shelby has their first lead. This is Vonderschmidt through the lane. Shelby trans wanted to travel, didn't get it. Shot was blocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Huskies. 19-4, came in as the number 5 seed, 4th ranked team in the state. And again, looking for their first state championship. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Zuha.
Well, you look at Shelby, not a very big team. It doesn't even look like they have a guy that would be over 6 feet tall out there.
Yeah, they list 7 different players at 6 foot tall, and then you have a junior off the bench in Jeff Augustine, who is 6'4". But you're right, they are not very big. Sacred Heart, by most basketball standards, not that big either, but in this game, they are indeed the larger of the 2 teams, and a charge is called. Justin Vonderschmidt puts an elbow right in and picks up the foul. Joe Hopwood took it.
Yeah. A nice acting job there.
Early moments, Class D1 championship. Hopwood up top. This is Jordan Crook. And back to Hopwood, back to Crook.
Man-to-man defense right now for Fall City Sacred Heart. Shelby being patient, even though it's a man-to-man D, not a lot of pressure. There's a lot of room to operate out there.
From the top, Hopwood thought about going inside. Instead, hands it off to Perry. Now they swing it around just to the left of the arc, and Zuha misses the short jumper. 4-2, Shelby. Sacred Heart with the, oh my goodness, right into the Gatorade bucket goes Adam Gruber. He saved it into the hands of Shelby. Down the floor on the break, John Zuha for 2. The good news is in all of that, Gruber is okay, but he went hard into that Gatorade stand. Fortunately, it was a cart on wheels, and of course it gave way, but boy, the way he went in there, he was flying into those buckets.
Yeah, if it weren't for the trainers over there, he'd probably be wearing that Gatorade right now.
First team foul against the Huskies.
Foul is on Zach Augustine. First foul on Shelby. 6-2 in favor of the Huskies. 3 minutes into this first quarter.
Nice
Huppert.
move. Nice move.
And a nice touch on that right-hand hook shot.
Uses that big body well, does Huppert.
Sacred Heart brings a little pressure to the backcourt. One-on-one, though. That's Jeremy Carney, number 15 for Sacred Heart, working against Matt Perry, number 30 for Shelby. This is Hopwood. We'll introduce you to all these players. First time, I'm sure many of you have seen them. To the baseline, all the way down. And a turnover. Zuha lost control of the basketball and right into the hands of Brian Huppert for Sacred Heart, who can tie it with a 2, take the lead with a 3.
Yeah, Huppert likes to drive, too, at the top of the key. You'll see him take the ball to the goal many times today.
Dish underneath, and not enough oomph on the shot for Gruber, the Gatorade man, to go for the three-point play, but he will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. Gruber, a 5'11" senior, averages 8 points, 4 rebounds a game. He has averaged 7 points through 2 state tournament games so far. And he has his first point of this evening session. 3 games to come your way over the next 7 hours or so. 6 hours perhaps, depends if we have overtime. Sacred Heart keeps it alive off the rebound to the baseline. Nice dish underneath, beautiful feed. Carney to Huppert, and Falls City Sacred Heart is back on top.
Yeah, that's a nice presence of mind by Huppert. It seems like he's just got a good nose for the basketball, knowing where he has to be when his teammate drives, smart enough to follow to the basket, not stand around, look for the open spot. There he was perfectly on the receiving end.
Well, you are so vulnerable when you drive along the baseline because so many bad things can happen. You've got to be in that right position, and you can get so many easy baskets like that one might have been if the pass had been on target to Hopwood, who did have some problems coming down with it. In the corner for 3, it's Vanderschmidt. Short. And the rebound to Zuha of Shelby. 7-6 Sacred Heart. Under 4 minutes to go, halfway through this first quarter. John Alt, number 44, had it there for just a moment to Hopwood. Up top, Perry. A dribble, a shot, and a friendly bounce off the rim.
Matthew Perry, and no, not the actor from Friends. Matthew Perry from Shelby, averaging 14 points coming into the state tournament.
Inside, outside. Kick it out, open 3. Huppert, yes.
He's got some range.
Yes, he does. 6'3" senior, plays predominantly a post position. And as you can see, Husky individual, but he's got a very nice shot.
Kind of a Rulon Gardner look-alike almost.
You know, you're right.
Big guy, but carries his weight very well, you know?
Well, reminds me of a few years ago when St. Paul had a starting point guard by the name of Lauren Kaiser, who, as many of you know, went on to play defensive line at Nebraska. It's still etched in my mind as one of the more odd things I've ever seen, as he led his team against Wahoo, and I believe it was a 96 or 97 C1 final. And despite his size, he was a very deft ball handler. Long pass down the court. Howard takes it in, and holy cow. Could you please, Justin Vanderschmidt, not be so emphatic you might decapitate someone with the ball? Watch this again.
Oh, man.
Oh, my.
This is more than a block shot right there.
That one ended up in the handicap section behind the Sacred Heart bench, and I hope nobody was hurt. Oh, my. Double dribble. Turnover on the Huskies. Irish will get the basketball. Well, and the nice thing about a block like that is that you leave no doubt that you definitely got the ball.
Exactly.
And not so much the body.
Exactly. Key thing, though, is he waited just until the ball was released. If you swat that ball while it's still in the player's hands, increases the probability of a foul call.
Vanderschmidt trying to score on the offensive side. Rebound pulled down by Logan Pop. Nearly had it taken from behind his head. Drive to the baseline, and a block, a retaliation block, and I think that was John Alt, number 44, who had his hand on it. So Shelby down by 2, minute 35 left here in the opening quarter. 5-second count is on, and a timeout, a smart one taken by Matt Perry, because the 5-second count, he had almost run out of time. So with a minute 32 left, Shelby will burn the first timeout of this game. You get 5 timeouts in high school basketball, 2 30s and 3 60-second timeouts. So it's not too difficult to go ahead and burn a couple of them if you have to and save a possession.
Exactly right. Shelby talked to head coach Terry Chaddock before the game. He said, just some of the keys to the game, they got to stop the inside game. He was very quick to point out Hubbard and that his team's got to contain him. And right now you look at the score section and he is on fire right now. 9 points in this first quarter.
9 of the Irish 10. Minute 32 left here in the first quarter. Hey, ball. Kick out, open three. A little too strong off the back of the iron. The ball was tipped right back out to Matt Perry, so Shelby gets another crack at a tie or the lead here. Swinging around for Hopwood. Perry.
Good shot.
Shot off the dribble, missed. Rebound, Sacred Heart. Logan Kopp into the forward zone for the Irish. Kopp in, a kick out. Drive by Jordan Marks. Off the iron, no good. Missed the shot, hit the putback. It took the tour and didn't come out. Wow. How many times is that we have seen the basketball roll around the cylinder or hang on the cylinder and come out? And a timeout taken by Shelby, and that's the second time. Of course, ironic enough, I mentioned, yeah, you get 5 timeouts. It's okay to use a couple if you have to. And sure enough, Shelby's used a couple here in the first quarter. I mean, we laugh now, but keep that in mind later in the game. If needed, Shelby, in trying to save a possession, has twice had to burn timeouts here. As you take a look at some of the fans who have assembled here. Now, we were giving Loomis kind of a hard time for their almost neon green uniforms and the fact that St. Patrick's Day is still a while away. But here's the team that's actually named the Irish.
And wearing the home white, only a tinge of green in Fall City Sacred Heart. What a great basketball tradition this school has.
Great athletic tradition, football, basketball, track, you name it. Girls basketball team has been a regular participant here on Championship Saturdays in years past. Off the offensive board, airball the shot, and we have a foul. And we will have free throws.
Yeah, it's going to be on Brian Hubbard
no, we
that
won't.
time.
It's on the floor.
Foul number 23, Brian Hubbard, his first personal foul.
It's only the second team foul against the Irish, 2 on Shelby with 22 seconds left here in this first quarter. Hopwood looking, and they're going to have to use another timeout. Boy, I'm not going to open my mouth about this anymore because now it's not a laughing matter. That is the 3rd timeout used by Shelby in the first quarter, and it's not like it's a situation where Sacred Heart is running away with the game and you're just trying to stop the momentum. That's 3 times that they have tried to save possessions by using a timeout.
Oh, boy.
Sacred Heart, you got to give them credit. They're doing a good job, at least there they did, of defending the inbounds. On the other 2 situations, they had just, Shelby had really dribbled themselves into a trap. And you can see it was a very short timeout. I mean, how much can you talk about? You've had a chance to meet now 3 times here in the last couple of minutes. I am sure that head coach Terry Chaddock is saying, guys, no more timeouts. All right, Hopwood will inbound. And they'll have to do the baseball pass to get it in.
Nearly an over and back that time.
Yeah, if Zuha had fallen forward and tried to regain by going back, it would have been an over and back call. But you can inbound into the backcourt if you need to. Hopwood in the middle of the shot changed his mind for the pass instead. A physical struggle for the ball.
Shelby basketball.
And on the tie-up, it will be Shelby basketball with 2 seconds left. So this is going to have to be a get it in, have someone in position, and shoot it.
Let's see who they go to here. They're probably going to look for Matthew Perry, number 30. Right there, flashing. Oh, no, they go inside.
No, they didn't need to. And a nice, smart play. Jordan Crook came in. They may have been thinking the same way you were, with Perry getting open on the right wing. But then Jordan Crook came in from behind and right there underneath the basket. And we are tied after 1 quarter here in Class D1. Well, this will give us a chance to quickly kind of recap what we've done, at least so far today, at the Boys State Tournament in the game we just completed before our break, our session break. It was Bellevue West over Omaha Westside in Class A, 70-51. Second state championship for Bellevue West in 4 years. In the D2 game earlier this morning, it was Loomis over Lindsay Holy Family, 87-58. And in Class C2, it was Cambridge defeating Louisville in our closest game of the day, 58-50. But so far, we have really none of the 3 games have been undecided going into about the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, no buzzer beaters. And I think right now, I think of the way my heart's feeling, and maybe that's a good thing. But I'm sure before the day's done, we're going to see a few gut wrenchers, a few great games coming up.
This one is 1 quarter old as we start the second period. Again, Fall City Sacred Heart in white, Shelby in black. This time Huppert head fakes the 3, looks for help. Carney outside, Logan Kopp looks to work off a pick, good defensive pickup, so they go for the 3 from the corner. Rebound to Shelby, they want to run. Hopwood on the outlet pass, layup good.
A very popular player, Joe Hopwood for Shelby, and a senior leader for this team.
Huppert again, and that's a travel. The ball thrown by Huppert was behind Vonderschmidt, and he trapped it behind his head. And it was a very easy call for our officials. Perry right down the floor. Look at him streak there. Nice patience as he puts up the shot, draws the foul. Boy, Perry really flashed down the floor. That didn't look like, at least the way they were setting up defensively, that he would have the opportunity to get past there. But once he got the ball, he went right between 2 defenders and screamed toward the basket. First foul shot is good from Perry. 5'10" senior, averages 13 points a game. He is the leading scorer on this Shelby team. They have 2 players who average in double figures. Joe Hopwood is the other. Though Perry has been quiet in the state tournament, has scored just 11 points total in the first 2 games coming in. This afternoon, he has 6. Shelby with a 4-point lead.
Who they looked for here, taking their time. Logan Kopp.
To the baseline, in, just underneath, and ripped out of there by Jordan Crook. Here's Perry again. To Hopwood. Hopwood going up in traffic, has his shot blocked. Out to a Shelby teammate. 3 is short by Zuha. Rebound to Logan Kopp. Vonderschmidt waits, kicks it out. That was Huppert's shot. I'm surprised he didn't take it. Shelby fans appreciate the defense underneath the basket, and he traveled. Vonderschmidt went baseline, and I think in realizing he had no one to throw it to, tried to improvise a reverse layup, and in the process traveled. That is the 5th Sacred Heart turnover. But then right back into the hands of Sacred Heart off the steal. And that ball looked like it came last off the hands of Jeremy Carney. It's ruled last touch by Shelby. 6 minutes to go, first half.
All City Sacred Heart, it's been a while since they've had a field goal. Trying to be a little too physical down there was number 42, Jordan Crook, on Brian Huppert.
13th foul against the Huskies. underneath. There you go. To the basket goes Gruber, and he'll get the free throw.
That was a nice isolation that time. Adam Gruber, nice job of posting up. You watch, he's got the defender on his hip. Once that pass gets through, he is right to the hole, and he got there in a hurry. Did not wait for the defense to respond, just went right to the goal.
In and out on the free throw. 14-12 in favor of the Huskies. Shelby coming into this game averages 51 points a game. Sacred Heart averages 64. Loose. Shelby keeps possession. Perry is cut off. Shelby obviously will be the more patient of the two teams. Right now, though, they hold a 2-point lead. Hopwood short on the deuce. Logan Kopp up ahead to Carney. Look down low. Kick out. Open. Yes, Adam Gruber. Who's had an eventful first half, to say the least, with his 5 points and his body block into the Shelby Gatorade tank. Bounce pass was intended for John Alt. Zuha with the presence of mind to go and grab it. Notice that would have been an easy Sacred Heart break. Look down low. Zuha way high off the glass. And we've got a foul.
Zuha seems like just can't get a call. Actually, Hopwood, that is, had a few tough looks at the hoop.
Personal foul, 15th foul against Shelby.
Game's starting to get a little physical. Fall City Sacred Heart on defense, really establishing their toughness in this game with Shelby. Shelby got into a little bit of a groove. Now Fall City Sacred Heart has responded.
Huppert. Devaney Schmidt. And he scores.
Oh, man.
I thought for sure we'd get some kind of a call there. It was as Perry was prone on the floor, and Vanderschmidt just streaked right past him. Did he use him as a springboard?
That's what it looked like.
I mean, just the way it looked.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
16-14 Sacred Heart. So Shelby's 4-point lead has been erased. And now it's a deficit. Halfway through the second quarter. Hopwood to Zuha for 2. John Zuha only averages 3 points a game, but he's got 4, and the Irish turn it over. Logan Kopp trying to find a teammate at the baseline. Irish are going to bring the press now. Perry streaks into the front court. See that speed kicking in once again. This is Jordan Crook. Hopwood for 3, just a bit short. Almost got the friendly bounce off the rim. Vanderschmidt yanks down the board. Jordan Marks goes to the baseline. The shot blocked by Alt. Came down in the hands of Huppert, and he travels. Jeremy Carney checks in. Three minutes to play here in the first half. Going around the horn, and Carney just about poked away a steal. Sacred Heart matching up. Doing a nice job of switching positions defensively. Oh, we got a foul. Yep.
A lot of screens.
I think that's going to be on Zuha for a moving screen.
One too many screens that time.
Yep. 2:32 left to play in the first half. In the D1 championship, it's Shelby 16, Falls City Sacred Heart 16.
One moment in American history, one place in time, one man with a vision.
Solomon Butcher, Frontier Photographer. Don't miss it March 21st at 7:30 Central Time on NETV.
All across the state, Nebraskans use electricity every day. And that electricity is 100% publicly owned. So profits don't go to stockholders, but are returned to Nebraskans. And because the power is supplied to Nebraskans by Nebraskans, it's reliable. Always there when you need us. NPPD, together with your local public power utility.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska.
The Shelby cheerleaders watching their Huskies right now. Tied up with Falls City Sacred Heart at 16. Only 2:20 to go this half.
Awful long time with the ball for Huppert, trying to spin around and find someone to throw it to. Marks, Carney, and Vanderschmidt. Huppert. Flat foot's a miss 2. Rebound though to Marks. Vanderschmidt for 3. That's too long. And did he save it? No, not quite. Huppert with a nice try, but Jordan Crook gathers it in. And here comes Shelby down the other way. Jeff Augustine with the ball, and he lost it on the floor, and it somehow comes out of there. Boy, that was a break. Nearly a travel. Perry for 3, short. Huppert the rebound. These two teams are struggling from the field, each 7 of 20 in this one so far.
Yeah, I don't think either team has a real feel right now for how to better their opponent. Each has done well in certain spots, but it seems like these two teams still sort of feeling each other out, even though it's only a minute left until the half.
Vanderschmidt looks down low. A drive and a layup by Adam Gruber got his defender to overcommit. And Gruber has put the Irish up by 2 points. Less than 50 to go. First half. Augustine for Perry. Behind defenders. Huppert with the rebound. Boy, is he struggling to get it out of there. Bet he's not used to being surrounded by smaller guys. Sacred Heart will likely hold for the last shot here of the half. 15 seconds to go. Gruber with 4. Carney to the baseline. Lays it up. And a charge with 0.4 seconds left. It's only the 4th team foul, so all we'll have here is an inbound, and that'll end the half.
Jeremy Carney that time hit the deck hard.
And it looked like he was wide open for an easy layup.
I don't know if he's going to be able to return. You see him limp to the sidelines there. He fell hard right on his hip. He's right underneath the basket.
Well, he's limping, plus it looked like he's carrying his right arm a little gingerly.
If he does not come back, that'd be a big loss for them. I think
they are looking at his elbow.
Too serious, but hope we see him again.
And is that going to count? It wouldn't anyway. Way over the backboard, and that will end the first 16 minutes. With your score, Falls City Sacred Heart 18, Shelby 16. The Irish, who have been as much a part of the tradition here at the state tournament as anybody, one of the most successful winning percentages of any high school program in the state of Nebraska at Boys State. 18-16, Irish by 2. Let's go down to the third member of our broadcast crew. It's Kyle DeLea. Hi, Kyle.
Thanks, John. How you doing? Coach, what do you got to fix for your Irish?
Just offensively, we got to be more patient. You know, I think both teams are tired, and kids are making some bad decisions on offense, kind of forcing the issue at times. We just need to be more patient.
Late games last night, I guess, eh?
Well, when you get to the third game, everybody's a little leg weary, but we just have to execute better on the offensive end. I'm happy with our defense.
Go get him.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the second half. Right now, it's Fall City Sacred Heart 18, Shelby 16. We're coming back with more halftime festivities here on NETV State Championship Basketball.
Bryan LGH West is bringing advanced neuroscience technology to Nebraska, offering the state's first gamma knife radiosurgery to non-invasively treat brain tumors and severe facial pain, and working with Nebraska's only physician specially trained in coiling for brain aneurysms. Just 2 examples of our commitment to neuroscience care for Nebraskans and our neighbors. Bryan LGH, the first name in healthcare.
Nebraska. You live and play here. You raise your family here. So do we. ACE, community owned, community operated. Your hometown choice for natural gas.
Welcome back to the Bob Devaney Sports Center. It's halftime in Class D1 with Fall City Sacred Heart leading Shelby 18-16. And we're going to review for you what has happened so far today at this 94th Boys State Championship Tournament. First off, we started at 9:30 this morning with the Class C2 final. We were looking forward to seeing Joseph Jackson Jr., and we weren't disappointed. He did have 25 points, but it was Cambridge, and with one of the most low-key, even-headed, level-headed approaches to a state championship basketball game I have ever seen. These guys played the entire game as if it was, I don't know, a scrimmage. I mean, they had intensity, but emotionally they had kept such an even keel all day long. Marcus Vaughn scoring 20 points, with Wade Vaughn scoring 17. Matt Depperschmidt with a double-double of 11 points and 10 rebounds. As we mentioned, Joseph Jackson for Louisville with 25 points. But Cambridge, even the celebration was subdued. There's not a whole lot of emotion. I know they're happy,
right.
But man, they're going to give this tournament a bad name if they don't show a little more emotion.
And I asked the coach that after the game, and Del Schoenfish told me, hey, we may not have a basketball title. This may be our first one, but we've won in other sports, and our kids play with class, and they know how to win, and it showed in that first game.
In Class D2, our second game of the day, it was the Loomis Wolves. Even though they were down 10 early, it was almost as if they had suckered Lindsay Holy Family into playing their style, as it was a running up and down the floor type game, and Holy Family just did not have the depth. They didn't have the legs to stay with a very athletic Loomis basketball team, as Loomis wins their second state championship in the last 5 years. 87-58 was the final score. The Wolves with 4 players in double figures. Drew Billiter with 19, and the freshman Lance Thorell had 19 points for Loomis, and it was his 3 that really got Loomis back into the game when they were down 10 early. He hits the 3, and then off the scoring, Loomis can make the defense the pressure. And as you mentioned earlier, Holy Family just didn't have the type of ball control, the kind of ball handling you needed from their point people to break that pressure.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, Loomis, we saw also a style of basketball that we have not seen. I have never seen sort of hockey-like substitutions, bringing 5 players in at a time. Amazing that a school of only 51 kids can play 10 guys that deep and bring them in the way Loomis does. Really an amazing display of basketball.
And with no noticeable drop-off in performance level. I mean, the defensive intensity, the offensive, the scoring output is all there. I mean, only one player, Drew Billiter, the All-Stater, averaged in double figures, though they had 4 double figures today, but it's such a balanced lineup. And you're right. I mean, you just think about it. It's a school of less than 60 kids. Literally 1/5 your student body population is on the floor, and they can play at that kind of level. Really impressive from Shelby as they win the state title. And in Class A today, not quite the same style as Shelby, but Bellevue West does like to run, and what guard play we saw today, especially in the second half from Josh Dotzler, who really took control of the game. His overall numbers don't necessarily astonish you, 13 points, but 6 rebounds, 6 assists. It was the way he did it as he got that team rolling in the second half and turned a tight game into a game that was easily handled at the end.
Yeah, both teams sort of traded punches in the first half, and then when push came to shove and Bellevue West really needed a run, it was Dotzler, really pushing his team, and then Michael Jenkins, that one play that you mentioned, Jenkins made the steal, made the hoop, and then Dotzler came back with an amazing play right after it. Really the difference in the game. And Dotzler, as you said, not huge numbers, but the Creighton recruit showed what he's made of today.
18-16 halftime in Class D1. Sacred Heart with the lead over Shelby. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Funding is provided in part by the Dr. Thomas and Dorothy Hallstrom Fund, created to support broadcasting of the Nebraska State High School basketball tournament.
What's for dinner?
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers.
Celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television.
For those of you who have been watching Big 12 Conference Tournament basketball on KOLN, KGIN, 1011 Lincoln Grand Island, you are watching the Class D1 State Basketball Championship game. Welcome to our continuing day-long coverage here on 1011 and the Nebraska ETV Network. It's halftime. Fall City Sacred Heart leading in the D1 title game 18-16 over Shelby. And before we get to the stats of this game and kind of give you a recap for those of you just joining us on what has happened so far in this game, let's take a look at the D1 Coaches All-State team. And as you take a look at the players that have been saluted this year, only one, Matt Eichmeyer of Howells, who we saw last year in this championship, is a repeat performer. But you've got 4 other gentlemen there, a couple of them from Greeley-Woolbach. They had a great year in high school basketball, both boys and girls. Jack Rother and Brian Dutcher both making the team. Andrew Schumacher from Layton and Chris Vaha from Elgin Pope John, all on the D1 All-State team.
That's right, a great D1 All-State team, as it always seems to be.
We'll be back with more halftime activities after this.
In 1886, the family of Sylvester Rodding gathered in front of their home for a photograph. Captured on this fragile glass plate negative, the image has evolved into an iconic scene of Western settlement. It is one of several thousand negatives made during the era of prairie settlement by one man with a singular vision, a man whose photographs of frontier life on the Great Plains are known the world over.
Ken Burns once said that he thought Solomon Butcher was among the most important of American photographers because he captured the birthing of that distinct American culture.
In the late 19th century, as homesteaders flooded the plains, Solomon Butcher witnessed the great American desert turn into the great American dream. One moment in American history one place in time, one man with a vision.
Solomon Butcher, Frontier Photographer, is a co-production of NETV and the Nebraska State Historical Society. Don't miss it March 21st at 7:30 Central Time on NETV.
Celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, a service of Nebraska Educational Telecommunications.
Sacred Heart with an 18-16 lead over Shelby in the Class D1 championship game in the first half numbers. Neither team ripping the nets off with their shooting percentage. Rebounds are even, turnovers are even. Pretty much equates to an even basketball game. Brian Huppert leading all scorers for the Irish with 9 points, 6 points apiece for Shelby's Matt Perry and John Zuha. We'll be back, more halftime coming up.
Hello, I'm John Davis of Motor Week. On our next edition, we'll test Toyota's Prius Hybrid and GMC's open roof Envoy XUV. It's all on the next Motor Week.
Sunday night at 10:30 Central Time on Nebraska ETV2.
Programming on NETV is made possible by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
These cost about $50. This costs about $57,000. Choosing to use these can help you avoid this. And since inactivity is a better predictor of death than smoking, high blood pressure, and even heart disease, using these more and this less could save you more than money. A message that's good to know from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
Programming on NETV is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 15 years, Education Quest has offered free college planning services. These services include scholarship searches, student loan information, college selection, and help with completing financial aid application. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments are available at 800-666-3721.
Celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, a service of Nebraska Educational Telecommunications.
Both teams back out on the floor, getting ready for the second half. Not much scoring in this one so far. Sacred Heart with a 2-point lead over Shelby. Let's go down now courtside for 10-11's Kyle D'Elia. Kyle?
Thanks, John. Coach Chaddick. To us, average observers, kind of game you like so far, right? The tempo, the score?
Yeah, it's a nice low-scored game. I think we kind of went through a lull there a little bit. Just need to get things a little bit under control offensively, do a good job, better job of cutting off baseline and checking out, and I think we'll do all right the second half.
Good luck. Go get your Huskies.
Thanks.
The black and gold. You can feel the excitement and adrenaline of the coach. He's excited for the second half, and so are we. Fall City, Sacred Heart up by 2. We're back for the second half.
They're immigrants coming to America to start new lives.
You remember Pento? It's my lady, man.
But with their new home comes new challenges.
Communication is a problem. We just kind of pretend like we know what each other is saying sometimes.
I'm excited, definitely. But I'm also nervous because it's going to be hard for her.
It's a story of overcoming the odds.
The number at the bottom is the score of your final.
And searching for the American dream.
I'll do it. I can make it here too.
The New Americans.
Coming soon to NETV.
All across the state, Nebraskans use electricity every day. And that electricity is 100% publicly owned. So profits don't go to stockholders, but are returned to Nebraskans. And because the power is supplied to Nebraskans by Nebraskans, it's reliable. Always there when you need us. NPPD, together with your local public power utility.
Celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, a service of Nebraska Educational Telecommunications.
And we are about ready to start the second half. John Bishop, Andrew Felios, Kyle D'Elia, the entire 1011 sports crew. Broadcasting statewide, also on Nebraska ETV, Nebraska's home for sports. Shelby and Sacred Heart to the second half. And as you heard from Terry Chaddock, he said, a nice low-scoring game. He wants it that way. The Irish, who average 64 points a game, and that's a good way to start to the second half, as Matt Perry, who I believe started this game with the first points, has pulled Shelby even. Jumper is short, we have a foul.
Foul to number 42.
It's going to be on Jordan Crook. That's number 2 on him. Number 1 in the second half as a team on Shelby. Neither team really to start the second half. No one's really in foul trouble, as it's kind of been the case for most of our games so far today.
Yeah, nobody really in foul trouble today. You're right. I think the key to this game, I think who takes control in this third quarter is going to win this game. The most important quarter usually is the one right after halftime.
Well, as you heard from Doug Goltz, the head coach of the Irish, before the half, he mentioned getting used to the late start time as Perry has come out on fire with the first 5 points of the second half. The D1 schools play the later games on Friday, and it's kind of hard to reset and get your legs underneath you, especially when you're playing for the third day in a row.
That's right. I'll tell you what, Perry's had a couple nice looking jump shots. Elevating off the floor, he's got a nice looking stroke.
Shelby by 3, a 3 to tie, no, from Vonderschmidt, and it's pulled down by Matt Perry. For the benefit of our viewers on 1011, we'll identify a lot of these players as they handle the ball here, just to get you familiar with them. This is Joe Hopwood to Zuha, John Zuha, Jordan Crook, back around to Perry. He's at it again, this time no. Ball, flying into the, oh, what a play! Zach Augustine went flying behind the baseline. Let's watch this again. Off the missed 3. Watch this. He tipped it last, and then,
oh man,
I tell you, that was very close because with that support there. And here's Augustine going to try to finish it up offensively. No, ball tipped around. It's coming in our direction, and it was last touched by the Irish. Or no, I beg your pardon, by Shelby. Well, boy, that was very close because with the basketball support underneath, he almost went head first, and even though it's padded, that's not the preferred method of travel. Oh, near travel there. A little bit of help defensively by Shelby. This is Brian Huppert off the baseline move, and it's 21-20.
And he's their best option. Huppert was their best option in the first half. Shelby really has not had an answer for him when he's decided to go to the goal.
21-20, Shelby with a 1-point lead. Perry into the front court. Augustine. Augustine, 5-second count is on. He gives it away to Zuha. And back to Jordan Crook, back to Perry. Off the screen, Hopwood tickles the twine. Down at the other end of the floor, a near steal by Zuha, and he went in and embraced Doug Goltz. I'm sure Goltz wasn't expecting that, a hug from the opposing team player. He had to either did that or he would go through him. Logan Cup. Jordan Marks. Around to Adam Gruber, jumper short. Rebound to Shelby, Matt Perry.
Look out.
Gets it down the floor quickly. Perry with an excellent acceleration. We've seen that on a couple of occasions here so far in this D1 game. A little bit of pressure that time by Cup. You can see Shelby is not anxious to attack the goal. The baseline, Augustine falling down, and also falling down was Jordan Marks, and he is in pain. He is in pain. Oh, he is in intense pain. Can't tell him. Maybe he knocked the wind out of himself, perhaps. Hard to tell where he landed, but as the trainers and head coach Doug Goltz takes a look at him, 3:47 left in the third.
Nebraska. You live and play here. You raise your family here. So do we. ACE, community-owned, community-operated. Your hometown choice for natural gas.
Programming on NETV is made possible by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
These cost about $50. This costs about $57,000. Choosing to use these can help you avoid this. And since inactivity is a better predictor of death than smoking, high blood pressure, and even heart disease, using these more and this less could save you more than money. A message that's good to know from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
Jordan Marks limping off. Marks looks like he took a shot right on that last play. He was trying to take a charge, it looked like, and may have gotten his knee right to the groin area.
Yeah, he was in an awful lot of pain. They'll get a bottle of water, and they'll see about getting him back in the game later on. Vanderschmidt, as they move it around, Jeremy Carney tries to go in on the baseline over the top of Perry for a harder two.
Yeah, he took a shot in the face that time, then was able to get the shot off. Way to stay with it.
25-22, Shelby leads by 3. Zach Augustine, John Zuha. Sacred Heart in the man-to-man. Through the lane. Ball knocked out of his hands. You can hear the guys going after it. Pulled out of there somehow by Augustine. Tipped around. Still loose on the floor. Oh, take a look at that tie-up. You had players' arms were hooked there, and Shelby comes down with it. Oh, and now another crash to the floor. Zach Augustine has been flopping his body all over the place here in this third quarter. Now he's having words with Justin Vanderschmidt. A look underneath from the baseline, rolls off the rim, no good by Hopwood. Keep an eye on that little exchange between Vanderschmidt and Augustine. They had a few words for each other.
Yeah, they're battling right now on the blocks. Vanderschmidt wants the ball.
Vanderschmidt, number 25 in white. Augustine, number 4 in black. And here is Vanderschmidt, short. Rebound to Perry. And Augustine screaming down the floor, but not quite far enough. Really taken away. Adam Gruber got his hands in there. Minute 52 left here in the very quick third quarter of play.
Mentioned Vanderschmidt too. He's only on the game 1 of 8 from the field. Tough day shooting so far, only 2 points. That's a 17-point score too, John.
Perry. Rebound to Vanderschmidt. Sacred Heart down 3 here. Logan Cup. Looking to work off a pick. Swings it all the way around. Takes it in high off the glass. Too much on that one. Had too much momentum going to the basket. And could not control his shot. free. Last touch by Logan Cup of the Irish. Falls City Sacred Heart undefeated in state championship games under their head coach Doug Goltz in his 18th year. They are 6-0. As a school, they are 6-2 in state basketball championship games. Shelby has never won a state basketball championship for the boys. Ball saved into the wrong hands. Nice play by Zuha, but there was nothing but white jerseys. Near steal. Ball still loose on the floor. Still loose on the floor and picked up by Perry of Shelby. Still have players down on the floor, and Shelby in traditional fashion kind of holds back. They are not going to push the issue at all.
Yeah. Jordan Crook making it happen that time. Nice anticipation, knocking it away.
Hopwood, who had his defender committed to the air.
I think they do want one shot here.
That would make sense. 20 seconds left here in the third. Shelby leads by 3. Augustine and Perry. 11 seconds left, 10 seconds left. Crook, 7 seconds left.
There it is.
Augustine stops in the lane, gives off to Perry. Shot no good, but a foul. And free throws coming up for Perry. You know, Augustine, I thought may have made a mistake because he was open in the lane and I think gave up an easy jumper. Instead, he gave off to Perry. The foul is going to go on Jeremy Carney, his second. That's only the first foul of the second half against Sacred Heart, and Shelby only has 1. No wonder this quarter's been so fast.
Yeah. The crowd was ready to erupt on that last bucket if that had gone down for Matthew Perry, who has been the star in this third quarter for Shelby.
12 points to lead all scorers. Second free throw upcoming. And it's a 5-point Shelby lead. The inbound, Cup, Carney, 3 at the buzzer. Oh, and he caught it off the glass! Call the bang! Shelby 27, Falls City Sacred Heart 25. The fourth quarter is coming up next.
Live coverage of the 2004 State High School Basketball Championships is brought to you in part by State Farm, providing insurance and financial services. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hastings College, where you can pursue your passion. www.hastings.edu. The Nebraska Abstinence Education Program, working to prevent teenage pregnancy and the spread of sexually transmitted disease by promoting sexual abstinence until marriage. Doane College is recognized by U.S. News and World Report survey of top colleges, offering undergraduate and graduate degrees at campuses in Crete, Lincoln, and Grand Island. NC Plus Hybrids and your local NC Plus dealer. Independent, farmer-owned, NC Plus. Where futures begin, Nebraska Community Colleges, Central, Metro, Mid-Plains, Northeast, Southeast, or Western Nebraska Community Colleges.
Shelby leading Falls City Sacred Heart by a score of 27-25.
And the big thing about that basket by Carney at the end of the half is that Sacred Heart had the possession arrow, so they get to start the second half with the ball. Essentially, you could turn this into a 6-point play or a 5-point play here if Hupper can put it in. Listen to him just grunting down there. Give me that ball. And he puts it down. 5 straight points by Falls City Sacred Heart.
He wanted that bucket.
Man.
Boy, he was scrapping down there.
Sounded like he was not ready to lift a 300-pound weight. 27-27. Sacred Heart has erased a 5-point deficit. Look underneath for a cutter. It's Hopwood, and it would not go down. Joe Hopwood needed to take another bite of Wheaties this morning, and that would have had enough muscle to roll that ball into the hole. Foul is on Shelby, and so now Sacred Heart, who has scored the game's last 5 points, could take the lead here. Cup to Adam Gruber, back to Cup. Opening moments here in the fourth quarter. All the way around, there they go to the big guy. And Brian Huppert, who we heard from a lot of in the first quarter, has been kind of quiet until now. And all of a sudden, Sacred Heart has scored the last 7 and has taken the lead.
Yeah, they really willed their way back into this game. It's been just turning it up a notch on both ends.
Bounce pass down low. Trook looking, has Augustine. Looked like he had an open lane there and a screen to boot. Jump shot is short by Matt Perry. You just get the feeling sometimes Shelby's just a little gun shy.
Yeah.
I really thought Augustine had a chance to take a couple steps into the lane. Plus, he had a teammate there screening for him and might have had an uncontested jumper from about 7 or 8 feet.
I think we're going to hear from Justin Vonderschmidt of Fall City Sacred Heart any moment now.
Not until we hear from Huppert. Oh, big block, but a foul. He got in there with the body. Tell you what, those microphones, we might want to check and see if the microphones are stuffed in their shirt. We've been hearing an awful lot of grunt going on down there.
At the line for Fall City Sacred Heart. This player at the line, Brian Hubbard, interesting story. He broke his foot early in the football season, was out for most of the football season, came back for the playoffs, but really wasn't the same in his senior year for football. So you know how much this game, this state championship means in basketball for him.
He makes them both, and with 5:57 to play, Sacred Heart is on a 9-0 run. We'll be back.
Hello, I'm Karen Gibbs.
And I'm Jeff Colvin of Wall Street Week with Fortune. We'd like to wish NETV well as they celebrate 50 years of service to Nebraska.
Programming on NETV is provided in part by Education Quest Foundation. For over 15 years, Education Quest has offered free college planning services. These services include scholarship searches, student loan information, college selection, and help with completing financial aid application. Education Quest is located in Kearney, Lincoln, and Omaha. Appointments are available at 800-666-3721.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska.
One of the many youngsters on hand here tonight watching Shelby and Fall City Sacred Heart. The Irish, 31, Shelby, 27. Just under 6 minutes to play in this D1 state championship game.
Not only did Kearney's buzzer beater at the end of the fourth quarter provide the game's most exciting highlight, but it has been a pivotal point in this game because of that 3. I mean, if he doesn't make that 3, Shelby goes to the fourth quarter leading by 5. All of a sudden, that 3 provided a spark. Then you got the big bucket from Huppert, and all of a sudden, Sacred Heart is on a roll, and here comes Kearney again. 11-point run, and keep in mind, remember those, for our 10-11 viewers, they won't be familiar, but Shelby had to burn 3 timeouts in the first quarter. Down the floor, Hopwood missed the layup. Shelby fans screaming for a foul.
Well, Hopwood's had a tough time. He has not been able to draw a foul.
Kearney from 3 again. No good, and the rebound comes down to Shelby. But Shelby has just 2 timeouts left in this game. They had to burn 3 timeouts, and all 3 were trying to save possessions. Either they were trapped in the corner or they couldn't get the ball in time, so they had to burn timeouts. John Zuha and a foul. This one's going to go against Logan Cupp. That's only the 2nd foul of the second half against the Irish. And if you're wondering, Shelby only has 3. 6-point Sacred Heart lead, an 11-0 run.
You know, aside from Matthew Perry, Shelby hasn't really had consistent offense from anybody.
And Kearney knocks Perry to the ground, and then he picks up a quick foul. That's his 3rd. Huskies really need some points here on this possession. Number 1, to stem the tide. Number 2, the way this game has been played offensively, 4:28 isn't that much time. Sacred Heart really coming out and guarding on the perimeter. Hopwood from 3. That was off balance and guarded. Vanderschmidt all the way down. He'll take the 3 from the corner and drains it. A 14-0 run by the Irish, and they have turned this into an Irish domination here in the fourth quarter. A timeout by Shelby with 3:58 to go. This game has turned dramatically. We'll be back.
One moment in American history, one place in time, one man with a vision.
Solomon Butcher, Frontier Photographer. Don't miss it March 21st at 7:30 Central Time on NETV.
Bryan LGH West is bringing advanced neuroscience technology to Nebraska, offering the state's first gamma knife radiosurgery to non-invasively treat brain tumors and severe facial pain, and working with Nebraska's only physician specially trained in coiling for brain aneurysms. Just 2 examples of our commitment to neuroscience care for Nebraskans and our neighbors. Bryan LGH, the first name in healthcare.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska.
Back here at Devaney Center, Fall City Sacred Heart fans on their feet. Justin Vanderschmidt, only 2 points before that bucket right there. You knew it was just a matter of time before he started to step it up.
Yeah, the leading scorer on this team was 16.5 points per game. Very quiet until then. And that is 3 of 14 in a row scored by the Irish. And the drought continues for the Huskies. Wow. Shelby needs an infusion of offense, and quickly. First, they got to get a stop. Now we're starting to see fouls, and remember, Shelby's only committed 3, now 4. So we've got fouls to give here before the Irish even get to the free throw line. And with 3:23 left, boy, it seems like forever ago since Perry hit the last basket for Shelby. At least I think it was Perry. It's been a while. All the way through the lane, layup missed. Reach-in foul, oh, and Logan Cupp is furious. I think mostly at himself because he missed the layup, not so much at the call. 4th foul on Sacred Heart, 3rd foul on Cupp. Here comes some pressure in the backcourt. Token pressure. Shelby needs a basket.
But who's going to give it to him?
Probably this guy. Nice fade. There you go. Get your defender to commit, knock down a jumper much needed. Still a 7-point deficit, but that one's big. Vanderschmidt, short rebound to Gruber, and he'll go to the free throw line.
They want the foul called on the floor. Zach Augustine's asking the official, but I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to give him 2 shots.
No, it won't. 15th foul on Shelby, and that means free throws for Adam Gruber. He started this game by throwing a cross-body block into the Gatorade jugs on the Shelby sideline, going after a loose basketball.
That's some nice buckets, though. Posting up, down low. Not a very big guy, but he uses his size well.
Sacred Heart's going to use one of their timeouts. Shelby might try to negotiate and see if they can buy a few of those timeouts back from the Irish. 38-29, 9-point lead with 2:46 left to play, and you're pretty much at a position now where Shelby just about has to score on every possession, plus either get a stop. You know Sacred Heart is probably going to pull the ball out. They're not going to necessarily go for the juggler here. They're going to bleed some clock.
Oh, well, Well, Shelby doesn't really have a deep bench, and Terry Chaddock told us that before the game. Not a lot of guys he can go to on that bench, so when his starting five, Hopwood, Zuha, Augustine, Matt Perry, Jordan Crook, if they don't have big games, there's not a lot of guys off the bench that can really provide that. It just hasn't really happened for him today.
38-29, Irish by 9. 2:35 to go. Perry. Augustine, they look underneath, wide open. Jordan Crook gets the basket, trap. Oh, they call a tie-up. Shelby basketball. That's good backcourt defense.
Yes. Maybe the best defensive play of the day for Shelby.
Yeah, but now you have to capitalize on that play.
See who they go to.
Getting the ball is one thing, now you got to score with it. And Perry had it taken away. I think it was Gruber who got his hands on it. Vonderschmidt down the floor. Jeremy Carney looking inside. Shot is missed, and the rebound to Shelby under 2 minutes to go. Perry all the way in, stops and misses it. And a foul on Jordan Crook, I believe.
Foul on number 42, Jordan Crook, his third personal foul.
That's his third. And Sacred Heart will inbound. 16 foul against Shelby. Boy, 2 opportunities to cut into a 7-point lead. And Shelby unable to do on either possession. Vonderschmidt. Sacred Heart backing out. I'm surprised Shelby's not fouling here.
Yeah, they have to start right now. Foul the ball. No choice.
A lot of time burned off that clock, though. Now just 1:26 remains, and with that being the 7th foul, basically what you're looking at, you've got 3 opportunities here to get a quick foul, hope that the Irish miss the front end of the 1-and-1 and get the ball back. That right now is Shelby's only hope.
Well, Logan Cup. It's spelled K-O-P-F, but pronounced Cup. Tricky name. Got a chance here to make it a 9-point game.
That was his first point, that first free throw. 3 possessions. Shelby's got to hurry. Hopwood all the way in. Shot was blocked. Outlet down the floor. Vonderschmidt with Perry chasing. And the foul. And this one I sense is just about history.
18th foul against Shelby.
At the free throw line, Justin Vonderschmidt. The 16-point scorer with just 5, now make it 6 today. It's not necessarily how many you score. They've had help from other places. Brian Huppert, 17 points today. Adam Gruber with 9, a 9-point game, 6:05 to go. Sacred Heart looking to go 7-0 in championship games under their head coach Doug Goltz. Zach Augustine with the 2. Makes it a 7-point game. Quick foul, that's number 9. Another 1-and-1.
Fouls at number 30, Matt Perry, his third personal foul. 19th foul against the Huskies. At the line for Fall City Sacred Heart, number 25.
And that will bring Justin Vonderschmidt to the charity stripe. 55 seconds left. Sacred Heart making their free throws when it counts. 41-33.
This will be the 7th state championship for Falls City Sacred Heart in Class D1. Some nice work. They go back, though, all the way to 1947, a runner-up in Class D.
Head fake, three, in and out, rebound, put back, no, and a foul. With 36 seconds left. 8-point game.
They got to be one of the older high schools in Nebraska, high school sports, I imagine.
I'll have to get the record book out to see. But you know, you got to think of this. They have only, this is only their 13th state tournament, but they've won 7 times. So their record in these games is
very good,
mighty impressive. They spent a long time between 1947 and really the late 1980s when they started to make their run at these multiple championships. There was a long dry spell there for Sacred Heart. And then really almost consistently since 1988, they have been a regular participant in this tournament. Championships in 88, 89, 90, and 91. Then they came back in 99, did it again. Came back in 2001, did it again. Now they're back here in 2004, and they are about to do it again. 41-33, just 36.7 seconds remaining for Shelby. Well, it's been a good season. They'll end up at 19-5.
Remember the last time, the last time Falls City Sacred Heart was here. Remember Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Jordan Cook at the line. Shooting 2 shots.
Took home a state championship that year, 2001 it was. I remember because it was my first state tournament.
Jordan Crook with the first of 2 free throws. Makes it a 7-point game. There's still a hope here if he makes it. It'd be a 2-possession game, but it'd be 2 threes. And Shelby just 1 of 7 beyond the arc. 6-point game. Need to foul quickly, and they do. But now it's 2 free throws, not just a 1-and-1.
Fouls number 3, John Zuha, second personal.
We haven't seen Jordan Marks since his injury in the 3rd quarter. He's still on the bench. We trust that he will be okay.
Shooting 2.
Here's Cup. Been money there. You take a look at Jordan, who was injured in the 3rd quarter.
His first cousin is Jeremy Carney. Another family connection.
And it was Carney's bank shot 3 at the buzzer at the end of the 3rd quarter that really turned this game around and started the rally for the Irish, who were down 5 at that point. Then they got the ball to start the 2nd half, and they got a basket by Huppert. They tied the game, and from then on, it's been all Irish with an 8-point lead and 17 seconds to go. And to the free throw line goes Justin Vonderschmidt. 6'2" senior, leading scorer on the team, just 7 points today. I'm sure he will take the medal and say, I don't care how many points I score. give me the ring, not the ring, the medal. 44-35, final 15 seconds, winding off the clock. Perry for 3. Augustine with a rebound, taken away by Carney, still loose on the floor. Tie up, Sacred Heart basketball.
Fans now on their feet for Falls City Sacred Heart. Start the celebration. Their team is returning as state champions.
7th time in school history. I think the Irish wanted to call a timeout and get the rest of the players off the bench, but it's too late. Sacred Heart 44, Shelby 35, D1 champions for a 7th time, and we will be back with the medal presentations after this.
Hello, I'm Senator Bob Kerrey. NETV has provided Nebraska with excellent educational services for 50 years. I want to wish them continued success. Happy 50th anniversary, NETV.
Celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, a service of Nebraska Educational Telecommunications.
Sacred Heart wins the D1 Boys State Basketball Championship. Welcome back to the Devaney Center. The medal presentations are coming up momentarily as the nets come down. Let's now find out what happened in the Sportsmanship Award race. Let's go across the table to Rich Broderson, our public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we are pleased to present the Sportsmanship Award for Class D1. We want to thank all schools and participants for their ongoing efforts to improve sportsmanship at the state tournament and throughout the year. We also thank Awards Unlimited for sponsoring these awards. Making the presentation and representing the Nebraska Athletic Directors Association is Larry Parker of Lincoln High School. And representing the Nebraska Coaches Association is Dave Strubing of East Butler High School. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Class D1 Sportsmanship Award is presented to Falls City Sacred Heart High School. Receiving the award is Falls City Sacred Heart Cheerleaders. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nebraska School Activities Association is pleased to present medals and trophies to both of these outstanding teams. The awards will be presented by NSAA Board of Control members Leroy Kundal of Baird and Dr. Bob Resnicek of Omaha West Side. They'll be assisted by U.S. Bank Representative Becky Brookman. First, here are the awards for the 2004 Class D1 runner-up from Shelby High School. Will head coach Terry Chaddick and your assistant step toward the middle of the court to present the silver medals to each member of your team. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 21, Jake Hablitzel. Number 41, Chris Goals. Number 42, Jordan Crook. Number 11, Lauren Wambacher. Number 13, Mike Golka. Number 44, John Alt. Number 53, Jeff Augustine. And now to the seniors. Number 24, Josh Kula. Number 2, Joe Hopwood. Number 3, John Zuha. Number 4, Zach Augustine. And number 30, Matt Perry. Now all of you are welcome to receive the runner-up trophy for your school. Congratulations, Shelby High School, 2004 Class D1 State runner-up. And now to the champions from Falls City Sacred Heart High School. First, head coach Doug Goltz, we have a special award for you. Now, coach, hand out the gold medals to your championship team members. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 51, Cliff Fink. Number 20, Ryan Fagley. Number 40, Brad Ahern. Number 41, Cody Johansson. Number 5, Logan Kopp. Number 15, Jeremy Carney. And now to the seniors. Number 4, Jordan Marks. Number 32, Jeremiah Haring. Number 43, Jake Schwung. Number 25, Justin Funderschmidt. Number 31, Adam Gruber. And number 33, Brian Huppert. And now, all of you are welcome to receive the state championship trophy. Congratulations to the Irish of Falls City Sacred Heart High School, the 2004 Class D1 state basketball champions.
Falls City Sacred Heart celebrates yet again. This program has become really the dominating power in Class D1 over the last decade or so. They knocked off the defending two-time champions yesterday, and they have proven again that when it comes to the championship, the road to that championship usually runs through Falls City and Sacred Heart High School. Shelby as runners-up, obviously very disappointed, but still a great season nonetheless. I know it's cliche to say, but it really is. Getting here is half the battle, and it has been obviously an emotional road for them as the season has gone on. It comes to an end for them, and let's meet up with their head coach, Terry Chaddock, who's with Kyle.
Coach, thanks for stopping by. High school sports, it is positive. It should be positive. We're going to be positive. Just one point, we want to touch the game. I mean, you take away that dry spell a little bit, your fellas were right in there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that fourth quarter, I think we just ran out of gas a little bit. You know, our bench isn't real deep. We played pretty much 5 or 6 kids, and a lot of our shots were short in the fourth quarter, and unfortunately, they did a good job of getting the ball inside. You know, they went to their strength, to the Hubbard kid inside, and you got to give them credit. They're a heck of a ball club. You know, they've been down here many times. They know what it takes to win, and they did the job. You guys had quite a run. 9 out of the last 11. You're coming as a 5th seed. You win the first one. I want to say you knocked off the top seed. Pretty impressive run for Shelby. Yeah, it was a great end of the year. You know, our competition was pretty good towards the end of the year, and the kids really stepped up mentally. We got some kids back from some health problems earlier in the year. Had a great finish. You know, at the beginning of the year, if you'd asked me if we'd been down here, I probably would have questioned you. But I got to give a lot of credit to our seniors. They were a good bunch of 5 kids. We'll really miss them next year. All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks. All right, it was a great run for the runner-up Shelby team, and right now we're going to send it to break. Shelby, your runner-up, Falls City Sacred Heart, your state champ here in D1. John and Andrew, much more on NETV at 10:11 after the break.
Pure power. Grace that defies the tons of steel and iron in its frame. No other steam locomotive in the world is bigger and still under power. Hear that train a-comin'. Saturday, March 20th on NETV.
Imagine what it would be like never to worry about money, knowing that your money is working for you. Nebraska Connects, Your Money Can Help. Chris Farrell, national author and host of Sound Money and Right on the Money, will be joined by the Nebraska Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors to answer your questions. Find out what you can do to manage your money and protect your financial future by watching Nebraska Connects, Your Money with Chris Farrell, April 21st at 7 p.m. Central Time, only on NETV.
All across the state, Nebraskans use electricity every day. And that electricity is 100% publicly owned. So profits don't go to stockholders, but are returned to Nebraskans. And because the power is supplied to Nebraskans by Nebraskans, it's reliable. Always there when you need us. NPPD, together with your local public power utility.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska.
Sacred Heart 44, Shelby 35. As we take a look at the final numbers from this D1 title game, neither team shot the ball exceedingly well. Rebounds were even, turnovers were even. Really, the difference was Sacred Heart made more threes than did Shelby. Shelby was just 1 of 8 for the game, but Sacred Heart made a couple more threes for the ball game. And really, it was the three-pointer by Carney at the buzzer at the end of the third quarter that turned a 5-point game into a 2-point game. And just like that, it started to snowball, and Sacred Heart pulls away to their 7th state championship. Back to meet up with the Irish after this.
Hi everybody, I'm Rod Bates, General Manager of NET, and this is a scheduled timeout during the basketball game, so I promise you, you're not going to miss a moment of basketball action. But right now, I'd like to encourage you to go to the phone and call us toll-free at 800-676-5446. And when you do call and make a pledge, we'll say thank you by giving you one of the following items. If you can pledge $60 over the next year, you'll receive Husker Century Part 3 on VHS. You can see big game highlights from the Tom Osborne era. Husker Century Part 3 is yours with a membership at $60 over the next year, or you can select any one of the 3 parts from the Husker Trilogy, 1, 2, or 3. Again, that's only $60 over the next year, $5 a month. If you can afford $10 a month or $120 over the next year, you can have all 3 Husker Century videos. There's the Pioneer Spirit, the Spirit of Play, and the Spirit of Champions. That entire set for $120 or just $10 a month. Now don't forget that all new and renewing memberships at the $60 level and above will automatically receive the NPTV member card. You can go to mynptv.org/members to view our member card partners and offers and shop our online member store. Now remember, you can make monthly payments on your credit card, monthly billing, or by electronic fund transfer. So call now and become a member of Nebraskans for Public Television. Now let's get you back to the Devaney Sports Center and the high school basketball finals. And thanks for your pledge.
Tune in to the News Hour for special coverage of Election 2004 primaries.
Celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, a service of Nebraska Educational Telecommunications.
In the locker room now with the D1 state champions, Falls City Sacred Heart, and head coach Doug Goltz, your 7th state championship in Class D1. Where does this one rank with this group?
It's another great one. They never get old. It's just so much fun working with the kids during the season to see what kind of team you can develop, and I'm just really proud of these guys.
You guys came out a little sluggish in that third quarter, and then it may have been that 3, you think, by Jeremy Carney right before the third quarter ended that may have gotten your team going for that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think we were just a little tired and leg weary. We weren't moving on offense. Our defense was good the whole game, but we just weren't getting much out of our offense. And then finally we had that run, about a 14-0 run, that got us that spurt that we needed, and that even picked up our defense more. But yeah, that shot at the end of the quarter really was big.
Final question for you, Coach, then we'll talk to your players. How big is basketball in Falls City to have success in your program? How much does it mean to the community?
Well, the thing about these guys is they're all out for track, football, basketball, and they do well in all sports. This is 7th basketball. They've also won 6 football championships. So they're just a great group of kids that are always competitive. They work hard. You know, they're probably the most focused group I've ever had in Lincoln. Our walkthroughs, I didn't have to tell them to get to bed on time. I mean, they were ready to win this, and they just did a super job.
Coach Doug Goltz, congratulations.
Thank you.
18 years on the job for Coach Doug Goltz, his 7th state championship for Falls City Sacred Heart. When we come back, we'll meet the players as our championship Saturday coverage continues.
Pure power, grace that defies the tons of steel and iron in its frame. A sound that demands respect and brings out fond memories. It's a great symbol for America, loud and powerful, getting the job done, just plain big. No other steam locomotive in the world is bigger and still under power. This is the Challenger, engine number 3985, gliding along the rails of the Union Pacific.
Well, have you seen it? It's great. It's, you know, it's all noise and smoke and grease and it's huge. I mean, you know, it's from the days when if you wanted to go faster, you made it bigger.
Hear that train a-comin'. Saturday, March 20th on NETV.
The program was exceptional. The response was staggering. The impact is lasting and profound. On the air, on the web, and in your community, PBS touches millions of lives.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is NETV and NETV Digital Television, celebrating 50 years of service to Nebraska.
Back here with the newly crowned D1 state basketball champions, Falls City Sacred Heart, the Irish Jordan Cup, joining us right now. What does this mean to your team? Excuse me, Logan, Cup. I'm getting you confused with Jordan Marks. Logan Cup, what does this mean to your team?
I know it was a lot. We had a long year. We worked hard. December, we lost a few games, and we've been on, 20-game win streak now to finish up the season, so it means a lot to the whole team.
You guys hadn't won one since 2001, I believe was your last state championship, so was there a sense of urgency to bring it back to Falls City?
Yeah, in the early 90s, they had a big run, and we hadn't had one for, 2 years now, so it was kind of time to get back here.
Logan, congratulations. Go get with your team, and let's bring one of your teammates in. Adam Gruber, a senior. Adam, you had some nice moves down there. No offense, you're not a very big guy, but you used your size well down there to post up and get some nice baskets in the first half.
I've been told that a lot. But yeah, they doubled off me, I guess, to get Hubbard, and that weakened things up a little, so strong.
And it was also some clutch baskets. Really one, was it at the end of the third quarter? You had a buzzer beater there right before the half?
That was Carney.
That was Carney. Talk about how much this means to your school.
It means a lot to the school, and it's just, this has been a great year, great team, and I've loved it. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, go get with your team. Come on in here. This is number 15, Jeremy Carney. You're the one with the big bucket before the half that really got your team going. It was actually before the third quarter ended.
Yeah.
Talk about what this means to your school.
Well, basketball is a big tradition in Falls City. I mean, we all like it. We all come in and play summer ball. I mean, it's something fun to do.
Talk about getting it to the big guy down low. It seemed like that was the theme in the first half and then late in the game.
Yeah, we really needed to get it down low, take care of it. They didn't really have anybody real big. Just get it down to him and let him take over.
Hey, congratulations, man. All right, go get with your team. As we bring them in here, Justin Vonderschmidt, not a big day scoring, but at the end of the game, a big three to get your team going.
Yeah, I haven't been shooting very well this whole tournament, and I've just been keep shooting and keep confidence, and I finally got one to drop.
17 points coming in. How did you keep your composure? Because you stayed in there, your coach had confidence in you.
Yeah, he told me that he just said, keep shooting, you're a great shooter, and he said your shots will start falling. So I just, I kept my head and tried to play better D, and D always leads to good offense. So
let's get Brian Hubbard in too right now. We got less than a minute, guys. Brian, just talk about how you were able to assert yourself down low.
Well, I try to use my bodies, and I got a wide one, to tell you the truth, but I
I just tried to use my body as best I could against those shorter guys. They weren't very big, so I figured I'd be able to work my way through there.
And it was a real bittersweet season for you on the football field. So does that make this kind of extra special in basketball to come on and do what you did?
Yes, because I wasn't able to help these guys. I wasn't able to help these guys in football, and I knew that coming up for basketball, I had to keep my part of the bargain with these guys, and I knew we'd win a state championship.
Guys, congratulations. Big party night in Fall City.
Thank you. Heck yeah.
Thank you. All right, guys, congratulations. Fall City Sacred Heart, D1 state champions. Oh, you hear the celebration, a very happy locker room. We still got 2 games to go, C1 and Class B. As we continue our state tournament coverage here on 1011, also want to remind viewers a special newscast, 12-minute newscast coming up.